I'm here with Kim Hupke from Spellbinders, and she's going to teach us how to emboss, deboss, and color all at the same time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I can't wait. Tell me about it.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of ink, and I am going to letterpress this die. So we're going to give it more dimension with the color.
Before we start, though, this is what we're doing, right?
Correct. Beautiful layered scrapbook page.
Which I think is amazing. And so you've got the, tell me which part is the debossing.
Well, if you notice on the paper, it's actually pushed in. Embossing is up, debossing is pushed down. So it just gives a whole nother layer.
That's awesome, and of course I can see the color. That's easy
That's
enough.
right.
Okay, so you're taking an ink pad. It can be any kind of ink pad, yes?
That's right. And I'm just going to rub that over the die.
Okay.
And it's going to catch on all of those raised areas.
So
All right?
cool.
All right, and then I'm going to put it inside this framed die. Make sure I line it up just like I want it, and grab that paper.
Okay. So you can move it around anywhere that you
Oh,
want,
yeah.
or is there one way that it goes?
No, you can move it around and get different looks. I'm just going to put a piece of paper over the top.
Okay.
And then I want to show you how to make one of these fun little felt roses.
These are the
right?
roses that we see here on the layout, right?
Right. I'm just going to put a piece of felt over
I
the
thought
top.
that was a seashell. Is it not a seashell?
No, no, and it's fun to make. So we'll show you how to make that real quickly too. Put my cutting pad on top, and I'm
Okay.
going to run this through my little die
I
cutting
would say a
machine.
teeny tiny. I actually think it looks a little bit like a kind of cool clutch or purse of some kind.
It slipped a little bit.
Okay.
No big deal. Just put the piece of paper back on it, and we'll run
And
it
smart
through.
woman, you just turned it over because the ink had already transferred a little bit.
That's right.
I like a resourceful crafter.
We're just going to run it through. Super,
Okay.
super easy.
That's
It's
awesome.
small, but it's mighty. Really high pressure.
Good things come in small packages, as they say,
That's
right?
right.
It's true. So when you're running it through, are you cutting at the same time? So you're,
The first time we're going
Okay.
to cut. Now I'm going to remove the cutting plate. I'm going to take off this die and this little piece of felt because we're only cutting that. All right?
Ooh,
Yeah, don't be playing
nice.
yet.
I want to play with it.
We're going to emboss. I'm going to put my
Okay.
embossing pad on top and my pink embossing plate on top
Okay.
of that. I'm going to run it through, and you can play with that flower if you want.
I
I'm running this through.
know. Well, I think that anything that's like felt or textiles, I think it just adds so much to your page when you have something that's a little bit different than paper, you know what I mean? Visually, all sorts of stuff.
And the flowers give really great dimension.
Yes, they do.
So I'm going to take this out, and you can see how the magic happens. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that's beautiful. And you're right. It debossed, it pushed it down, it embossed, it pushed it up, and it colored.
That's right.
That's a lot.
So then from this point, I've actually done a little bit more stenciling to add a little more color.
Cool.
All right, so let's have some fun and start to build this layout.
Let's do that. So when you're building a layout and all that kind of stuff, are you pre-planning or are you just sort of in the moment?
I'm an in-the-moment kind of girl. I just am. I am, and
I
I
love that.
switch, and I change, and I like to have lots of options. But I do like to layer because I think it really gives great dimension. So we're just going to take some little strips
Plus,
of
it
paper.
gives you an opportunity to play with all your stuff.
That's right. That's right. And I love lace, and it's so
Yeah.
trendy. So why not add a little piece of vintage lace on top?
And that's the thing that we were talking about too, about adding fabric and other materials to your layouts. It really just adds so much more.
I think it really makes it personal.
Yeah.
This is actually a larger die cut. I've cut it in half because you can manipulate the ways your dies look
Oh.
by hiding some seams. And it looks
see?
like a huge die
It
cut.
does. It looks like a big square instead of a smaller rectangle. That's
right.
clever.
Yep. So we're just going to build and have some fun. These are decorative dies. Whoops. And I'm going to add this one on
This
top.
is like layering doilies that you've made and you've custom colored and you've matched your paper. I
Look
love
at-
that one.
look
The
at the
delicacy of that
detail.
is just amazing to me.
It's so much fun. And then we're just going to take these really three great pictures,
And black
lay
and
it on
white
top.
photos are always so classic,
I
which is
love
really
them.
nice.
Here again, with these, we've also letterpressed, so you can see that dimension in the green, how it's just pushed down and really give it Gives it
can't
a
believe
nice
it.
flare.
See, I would have thought that was something that took you forever stenciling and going slowly and working through it, but I can see now how quick it is, which
If you
is
have
amazing.
the right tools, it's really
I
easy to
know,
do.
I know.
So then we've rolled our little flowers.
Yes, and I know that you told me that basically what you do, and I haven't actually, I'm sorry, I didn't do my job. I didn't take the time to actually pull this out. But you told me that basically you essentially roll this, what I thought was a shell, and it becomes, let's see
A
if I can
little
do
rosette.
this.
There you go.
You can see the beginnings of it, but it becomes these amazing felt rosettes.
That's right. So
That
much
is
fun.
really, really
And you
cool.
can do them really tight if you want to bud. Open them up if you want to have more of an open flower.
And I know you also showed me, you have these are also little die cuts that are embossed as well, right?
Yeah, aren't they little pretty birds that you can put along? And we put some stickers. Here we can look at the actual layout and see how we've added some stickers, some journaling to just
What I
make
was
it
going to say,
interesting.
what I love about what you've done here is adding to the die cut, I think the little pearls, it again takes it to a whole another level. And here's a brilliant idea, which is all the work that you've done, you've translated it into a card. Which
Why
I just
not?
think is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it. Now let's take a look at some of these finished projects over here. I think this one, just the delicacy of this, it's so romantic and soft, and the bird cage.
And the pearls just really accent the dies nicely.
And of course, I'm like a magpie, so anything shiny, I immediately
Well,
looked
you know,
at this.
shiny works really well with debossing and embossing because it really brings your eye to the pretty detail.
And you know, this has a little hidden secret I noticed, which is there's a very subtle deboss in the background behind here, which is beautiful. Absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
more layering, of course, on this card. Spectacular card.
Isn't that fun? Getting a little inky, having some fun with the gold. It's
Imagine
really
getting
pretty.
that in the mail. It would be amazing.
Well, if you notice, the background is all just debossed right onto the card front. And then the same elements have been cut and embossed for the embellishment.
Repetition, one of the best design elements around. Thank
That's
you
right.
so much, Kim.
You're very welcome.